Okay, first of all, welcome and good morning, everyone. My name is Biswas, and today I'm going to talk about Australian Aboriginal culture. I'm very thankful, and it is my pleasure to have you here in this presentation. Today, I'm going to give you the general informations of the Australian Aboriginal culture, like history, food, belief and tradition, body language, and the most important, the major challenges this culture would experience adaptation to Australian culture current in the current time. So let me start with the introduction. Native people of Australia who probably came from somewhere in Asia more than 40,000 years ago. The Aboriginal population at the time of European colonization in the late 18th century has been estimated to have number between 300,000 and 800,000. At the time, there were 500 to 600 distinct group of Aborigines speaking about 200 different languages, or you can say dialects, at least 50 of which are now extinct. In the past, the word Aboriginal has been used in Australia to describe its indigenous peoples as early as in 1789. At present, the term refers only to those peoples who were traditionally hunter or gatherers. You can see the recent statistics of Australian Aborigines in different states. From this figure, we can see that the majority or the maximum of population is in Northern Territory, which is 32.5%. And in Victoria, they have only 1%, which is lowest in comparison to other states. Furthermore, they have different regional groups based on indigenous language like Kuri, Mori, Noongar, etc. Let's talk about Aborigines culture. Australia's Aboriginal culture probably represents the oldest surviving culture in the world, with the use of some stone tool technology and painting with a red ochre pigment dating to at least 50,000 years ago. All of Australia's Aborigines were semi-nomadic hunters and gatherers, with each clan having its own territory. Those communities living along the coast or rivers were expert fishermen at that time. Australians never developed an Iron Age, Bronze Age, or poetry, and the terms Old Stone Age and New Stone Age are not used in Australia because stone technology did not progress the same way as the rest of the world. All Australian Aborigines shared an intimate understanding of and relationship with the land. That relationship was the basis of their spiritual life and shaped the Aboriginal culture. Since many Aboriginal groups were nomadic hunters and gatherers, they did little in the area of food preparation. Meals were simple, as was their preparation. If you head into the outback and try some foods, you'll get the taste that you never tried before. When most people look at the outback, they see a wilderness. Aboriginals, however, see a kitchen pantry. Described in their own vocabulary as bush talker, the cuisine has an extraordinary range from the carnivorous end, which includes kangaroo, emu, and crocodile, down to the insect group, which features honey, ants, and Wichiti grub. There are also quandong, a kind of peach, bush tomato, yams, and macadamia nuts to enjoy. However, factors such as poverty, low or inadequate incomes, poor housing, including basic setups to store and prepare food, and less access to nutritious food place Aborigines at higher risks, which we'll discuss in the next slide. Land is fundamental to the well-being of all Aboriginal people, as I said before. Based on the Dreamtime stories, ancestor spirits came to the earth in human and other forms and the land. The plants and animals were given their form as we know them today. The expression Dreamtime refers to the time before time or the time of the creation of all things, while dreaming is often used to refer to an individual's or group set of beliefs or spirituality. Also, body painting, rock painting, and bark painting are some of the traditions within these communities. They used different tools like primitive brushes, sticks, fingers, and even a technique of spraying the paint directly out of the mouth onto the medium, resulting in an effective similar to modern spray paint. So, um, body painting normally indicates the relationship Aboriginal people had to nature, their land, their ancestors, animals, and environment. And rock painting it shows objects they still use, animals they still hunt, and activities they still do. Traditionally, bark paintings were produced for instructional and ceremonial purposes and were transient objects. Today, they are keenly sought after by collectors and public arts institutions. They also developed three musical instruments, the best known being the didgeridoo. The other two instruments are the bull roarer and the gun leaf. Australian Aborigines use boomerangs for hunting. It is made up of wood actually. Likewise, spear throwers, bags, and nets also used by Aborigines as their tools. As you all know, how important is body language for communication, and also different culture have different body language. So it is always good to know to avoid the miscommunication. For the Australian Aborigines, eye contact is thought over as a tip, so be aware of that. However, a smile and nod is welcoming even without words. Aborigines believes in good relationships, so always ask about family or share information about yourself before doing any business. Likewise, speak in gentle tones and do not speak too fast. Major challenges to Australian cultures. Let's talk about this. The indigenous Australian population is a mostly urbanized demographic, but a substantial number is nearly 27% live in remote settlements, often located on the site of former church mission. The health and economic difficulties facing both groups are substantial. Both the remote and urban populations have adverse rating on a number of social indicators, including health, education, unemployment, poverty, and crime. At last, Australia's Aboriginal culture is the oldest surviving culture in the world. Also, bush talker, bush food means the food from animals, plants, edible seeds, grubs, and insects, honey and nectars, and it also includes the water. Land is fundamental to the well-being, and dream time is the Aboriginal understanding of the world, of its creation, which is the beginning of knowledge, from which came the laws of existence. Australian Aboriginal rock art is famous, and it is the oldest unbroken traditions of art in the world. So, if you have any questions, please feel free to write in the comment box, or you can also send me an email. To send me an email, you can visit my website, which is www.biswas.online. You can see or read lots of informations on this website. So if you have any feedback or suggestion, please feel free to send me an email. Thank you and have a good day.